Hey guys, you guys want to see something really funny? Remember these things? Remember that? Yeah. Useless. Remember these? This one? Useless. Money down the drain. And this guy. My favorite guy. He don't play for this team anymore. Garbage. You know, it's hard, guys. It's hard being loyal to a team when it doesn't look like the players are. Hey guys, let's get right into it, okay? Because the NFL is throwing around a lot of money, and I know you guys heard about it.
It's crazy, man.
These trades are getting ridiculous. So
first world problems. That's what it is. It's first world problems.
It's getting big, and to me, it's getting exciting. I'm actually enjoying it. I mean, you know, as a fan, I'm enjoying this because it feels like it resets the whole NFL. And we're starting from new again, and
yes,
it's going to be some exciting games. But if you haven't heard, today they have just announced Deshaun Watson as the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback. And yes, we know he has those 22 allegations on him. I'm pretty sure the NFL is going to suspend him for certain type of games.
Well, wait, is he new in the league?
No, this is going to be his fourth year. He was from Clemson. You know, he played with the Houston Texans. Great quarterback, if you guys don't know, Deshaun Watson. And again, he had these allegations that he was sexually inappropriate with masseuses. Again, it's only allegations. He said he was.
Wait, with masseuses?
Yes, with female masseuses that obviously gave him massages or what have you. But that's what the allegations are. They're saying there's no criminal coming to Deshaun Watson as of right now. But again, the NFL is known for throwing down suspensions when something like this happens to one of their players. So I'm pretty sure the NFL is waiting for a lot of the information to come out so they'll do their suspension. But I'm pretty sure Deshaun Watson is going to be suspended for a number of games.
And I'm pretty sure most of the story we're not going to hear either.
They got a lot of information under
the
the rug that we can't hear.
It'll be suspended, and that's about it. That's all you're going to get.
Yeah, I hope we're suspended. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger, that time ago, he did that one time, and he was suspended. I think it was 4 games.
Big Ben.
Yeah, and then they reduced it down to 3. But, you know, we'll see what happens with that. And another trade with, again, one of my favorite quarterbacks, Russell Wilson, going to Denver.
I like Russell Wilson.
I love Russell Wilson. I loved him out of college, and I knew he was going to be great in Seattle. And, again, I love the trade for him because it gives him, before he's done in his years, a time to shoot for a championship, even though that division is loaded.
Yeah, it's true. But he's been with Seattle for
10 years.
10 years.
So again, he did. But again, it was a great 10 years because obviously he went to 2 Super Bowls. Should have won 2, but I don't know what their play call was anyway. And another huge wide receiver trade. If you guys haven't heard, Aaron Rodgers lost his number 1 receiver, Davante Adams, to go to the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, a lot of people, if you don't know, Davante Adams and Derek Carr are bestest of friends. They went to the same college. In Los Angeles, so they know each other really well.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, again, Davante Adams got the bag, but he also got to going home to play for his hometown idol team, the Raiders, which is, I think, it's fantastic. If he always had a man to play, like if I was a football player, I'd love to play for the Jets.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
even though they're not that great, they probably had a shortened career because of it. But I mean, again, you know, when you growing up rooting for one team, it's great to go play for them.
I would agree with that. So
right?
I would like to do, be on a team that was, I was always hometown loyalty.
Yes, exactly. You know, and that we're gonna get into that because hometown loyalty. I mean, that might be no more. As we're jumping into the whole Tyreek Hill trade, that Blockbuster just rattled the whole AFC. Tyreek Hill was traded to the Dolphins, and it was huge because again, usually you don't trade a guy that's in your division to the same division.
Yeah, it's usually cross divisions.
Yeah, you don't want to play. You don't want to play against them. Yeah, usually, and for some reason, these guys had given Tyreek Hill a boatload. I mean, Tyreek Hill, granted, he's a great player. He's a difference maker. But as a number one paid wide receiver, I mean, Devontae Adams, to me, is the number one wide receiver in the league as of right now. But when, a team like Miami wants to give you $40 million a year to be the highest paid receiver, how do you say no?
And that's the power of negotiation, man.
And it's funny, too, because now you wonder, I mean, is loyalty a thing anymore?
It almost feels like it's not. It almost feels like it. Now, listen. All right, from the one perspective, I get it. You have a chance to make a lot of money, and your time is not, maybe 10
in the
years.
NFL. Okay, you got to get hurt. It's a very hard contact sport.
Yeah. So when they're making these decisions, obviously, us looking, from the outside in, and we're thinking they have no loyalty. We're thinking it's greed. But this is what that industry has created. It created these high-profile, high-dollar athletes. Yeah. So it's a norm now. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of hard for an outsider to be like, well, why would you leave your team and go and chase the money? And that's kind of what it feels like. It's kind of like it's chasing the money. You know what I mean? But it's not only a local problem when it comes to it's not just the NFL, it's not just the NBA.
And I understand.
It's a lot of things.
It does, but it doesn't. Wouldn't it bother you? I mean, okay, I'm no Pat Mahomes, but right now he's top 3-4 quarterback in the league right now.
Yes.
And you're going to a quarterback that is unknown as of right now, and every year. You're in that AFC Championship game waiting to go to a Super Bowl. And then you have a team with the Dolphins that haven't been anywhere in a long time. Granted, they weren't that bad last year, but with all of this that's happening, with all these moves, and the AFC just getting so much stronger, I think I personally would have loved to say Pat Mahomes. I mean, you're not going to get that much money. You're still going to get paid.
Yeah, and I think and that's what I'm saying. I think the money is outweighing the, winning a championship,
the loyalty,
winning a Super Bowl, and
staying with somebody who drafted you fifth.
Yeah, it's definitely outweighing the loyalty. And obviously this isn't the first time. We've been saying this for the last 20, 30 years. All these high dollar, people changing, go from a great team to somewhere else.
Damn, Yankees started it all.
Yeah, for a high amount of money, but what really bothers me is that in the NFL and the NBA, within sports itself, it's accepted. So we're used to that.
Yes, and it's upsetting to me because like me and you, who grew up hard in the '90s sports era of Jordan, staying with teams like that that didn't they wanted to win more than anything. And
and you could tell, you could see that.
They wanted to win. The money was going to come. Granted, the money is going to come. You guys are professional athletes. The money is going to come. But, I'd rather play for that ultimate goal, the championship, every single year. If I could do that, I would try.
And, and I kind of agree with you. But another part of me is like, you know what? Like I said, the time is short.
$50 million.
And you got, you have a chance to get all this money, because you don't know what's going to end up happening next year. You get hurt in practice.
Yes, and I understand.
And so it's like you want to capitalize on
what you can get
what you can get now, because you don't know what's going to. So when it comes to this type of scenario, I would say greed would be more good than bad.
As everybody knows, greed works
for the individual. You know what I'm saying? For the individual.
They're looking out for themselves. And, it's hard to knock them on doing that.
So, then you gotta understand how, for example, let's say, let's take this outside of sports. Let's say you own a company in the United States. and you want to squeeze every dollar you can out of it. So you take that factory and all that work, and you put it overseas, because now you know you can get $1 more for your product. Because it's cheaper to make over there, and it's cheaper to ship over here.
Yeah, that greed is no bueno.
Yeah, because you think, okay, well now if you're the people who own that company, all they're thinking about is that money, not caring about it's going to lose jobs here. Where the U.S. is going to be producing less GDP. You know what I mean? So they don't think about that. And for us, being on the outside again, we feel that obviously that greed is not good. You know what I mean? Because it's taking away not just from a little slice. Like sports doesn't really affect us. It affects you if you go out and buy a hat or a jersey, but that's really it.
Yeah.
This kind of affects everybody because it's taking away from our country, and as you see now, it's got everything's overseas. Yeah. Half of our stuff comes from China.
Yeah.
So I feel on this aspect, the greed is not good. Obviously, if you talk to somebody who's a CEO or all that, they'll disagree because
of course, because
they're obviously living it.
Yeah, their bottom line is what they care most of.
Yeah, exactly. And this is coming from our perspective, but their choices of greed affects us. These things in NFL don't affect us. But these choices of greed do affect us. And
affect my damn jerseys, not buying one ever.
Yeah, I want to buy them. I haven't bought a jersey in 20 years, 15 years. But and obviously it's depending on who you are and what you're in. I think it's hugely perspective.
Yeah.
It all depends on.
Depends on to each your own. I mean, everybody has an angle they're gonna look at it. We can debate if it's a good angle or not, but ultimately, I mean, with greed comes two sides.
Yeah, it does, and it's hard to just bash it and say it's bad because I would say one thing: greed is what has driven mankind to
do
create,
more.
to
do more, be
build.
Better,
You know what I mean? Yeah, right.
First. Yeah. Yes.
And so that has driven some people.
Yeah, it's driven our world.
And it's wildly different between individuals as well.
Yeah.
You might have individuals who use that to build and create and grow an industry or grow the United States. And you got other people who are out there, obviously, who just want that, they'll charge more, just want that bottom line. And every year they want to keep topping that and topping that.
Yeah.
And then you get all these billionaires, and you think to yourself, like, how much money do you need?
To them, more is never enough.
Because the more they get, there's a line they cross, which becomes power.
Yeah.
And power is how do I say this? Is once you have that power,
infectious.
You do not want to let that.
It's
power
infectious.
go.
Once you get it, it's hard to get rid of. Yes, 100%.
I
might just stick with baseball jerseys now. I'll tell you the truth. At least they're doing deals for 8 to 9 to 10 years, so I don't have to worry about it.
For now.
Yeah.
Baseball is way the salary caps on that is crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sports nowadays. It's hard and it's sad. It's hard to push my son into reading books and getting smart and going to school when all he sees is these guys that play a sport that they love and they're paid to do it. And some of them, granted, are greedy, because they get those holdouts.
Yeah,
I'm not playing. I mean, you're playing a game. Again, I understand it's depending on what sport you're playing, it's a very hard. You can get injured. But again, you've been playing this game since you were kids, and you're getting paid to play it. I know I'm looking at it from a fan's perspective, but again, I don't play these sports. So.
Well, you're right, though. You're looking at it from a fan's perspective. So we don't obviously have an inside line to these people. So it looks like, immediately it looks like, depending on what type of deal's going on, it looks like greed. You have a job that's not even a job that you love to do. Granted, you probably have talent to do it.
God-given.
And you got all this money. But when they go about it, when you can clearly see it's just for the money, there's a million people out here who would love to be in that position.
Again, I would love to, but again, like I said, I understand. You can get hurt. Shit, I get hurt.
Yeah, that's
walking
true
down
too.
the stairs. I mean, these guys are finely athletic tune machines, as Bobby Boucher would say it. But yes, again, I mean, you want to make sure in the long run that you're paid and you're well off. I get it. You don't want to be working at a drive-through restaurant because you tore your ACL or something and you can never play the game again.
You want to make sure you have a cushion.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this then: this is going into sports? Do you think sports are as good as they are because of the high dollar they create? Or let's say everybody wasn't paid as much as they are, if they were paid like a normal salary, do you think the sport or sports would be the same? Would it have this?
100%. Because now I know, inflation's money, but if inflation or any of that wasn't a part of it, you gotta think, 60 years ago, these guys were playing for nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's fun.
So if you made $100,000 a year instead of,
Shit, to me, I'd make $100 a year and be able to travel and go to all these places and play a game I love. I know I'm not paying for food at the hotel, so I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And again, that's coming from us on the outside. We don't know what it's like to be in the organization, what goes on. I have to pay managers and agents and all the other crap that you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. But obviously, like I said, more money, more problems, right?
Yeah, and I also get it from the other aspect that I'm just totally forgetting about. But you have to realize a lot of these kids, they some of them come out of nothing.
Yes, they do.
And they want to provide for maybe a single mother or something towards that effect, where they know once they make it, their life will be easier, and they were living it rougher than most people do. And I understand that. Yeah. I mean, because granted, money changes everything. There's just no doubt about it.
And if you say it doesn't, then obviously you haven't had any. I haven't had any, but I can see it.
You can just tell. I mean, if somebody's handing me $1 million right now, there's no way that my family wouldn't be set for years to come.
But it's like you said, if you come from nothing, right? Yeah. And now these kids grow up to be adults and they're playing in this game where they're getting tons of money.
Tons.
And then you look back about where they come. Well, there's another few thousand kids in that same area. Yeah, so it's winning it's like winning the lottery.
Yes. And from that expectation, I can understand it. These kids are gonna get paid. They're gonna get paid.
So and then everybody he left back home is all gonna they're still gonna be there, still be in poverty, still everything. Because it really is like winning the lottery.
Okay. I wanna say that it's great for anybody who can make that type of money. I don't shade on anybody. You get your money if you can. It's understandable. But the fan side of me is like, I just want to see you guys play.
That's true. And I don't disagree about anybody making money, because that's one of our main things here is to make money, right? Is any sport you go into, or even a job. Sometimes you choose a job because it's a better paying job. Yeah. And most people, average people like us, like you guys, choose jobs like that because even though you might hate it, there's millions of people doing jobs they don't like, but it's worth the money.
And you do it to advance,
So that's where the greed thing is like, well, do you need to do that job? Why don't you do something you love and you won't have to worry about being miserable every day? Yes, I get you got bills and expenses, but if you changed all that, you could do what you want. You see what I'm saying? So I think greed is neither good nor bad, but it depends on the individual. It messes people up because a lot of people don't know, how to use it to drive themselves, how to use it to make themselves better, or the area or things around them better.
Again, loyalty. I believe is still in the games, and to certain eyes, it can look like greed, but it's also a little bit of loyalty to stay with something that you love to do and get paid for it. I mean, there's always everybody's different.
And I feel loyalty is this is my opinion, but I feel loyalty is something that can be bought.
Yeah.
And-
It's a dying breed, loyalty. Just saying.
Well, it is. I want you to think about, I want you to think on a bigger scale. I want you to think about the government. Think about all the people who are in the government, and it's supposed to be America first, right? Because citizens first, right? But they're all making deals behind the table. They're all getting their bit of money, not worrying about it. So in that case, that's the greed that destroys people. But it's not just destroying them; it's destroying everybody else. And that's the kind of greed that you would say, well, it's bad. So, like I said, it's between each person.
Yeah, and that's a whole
different.
That's a whole different show, guys. That's all I want to let you know. That's a whole.
Yeah.
We can go into this for days and hours, but unfortunately, we can't. But I know if you guys like the content, maybe hit that like button, share, subscribe. Let's get this thing rolling, keep going, and again, do more, be more, guys. Something I live by. Just make sure every day you just do a little bit more. Just do a little bit more, and in your life, you'll be more. All right, guys? I want to thank you, guys. I'll see you there. I'll see you at another time.
That's it. See you later.
All right, guys.